Hello guys, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah, and guys, I'm more than happy to have you on board. Now today we are going to design an automated data entry form with Excel. And guys, perhaps before we start, let me show you a preview of what we are going to design, me and you. Now this is the button, launch button. When you click on it, then it's gonna give you this kind of input fields, and then you can see here at the bottom you have some records. And then guys, basically let's go to our database, and then you can see that we have 5 items here. You now have 5 records, but guys, I want us to add another record so that you may see that this form is automated and dynamic. So like here, let me say 6, and then for name, let me say something like let me use another name like Cynthia. Let me say Cynthia. Let me say Cynthia. Cynthia, and then the gender is female, and then a profession, this one, let me give it something like let me say police, and then the city, let me say Lodwa. That is in where? Let me say Ethiopia or United States. Just guys, I'm just guessing these values, and then I just click on save. And then when you click on save, then you can see that it gives you this kind of a pop-up notification that do you want to save the data. When you click on yes, then it's gonna add new records here. Now let's see this this reset button if it's working. So perhaps you type in a value which is not correct, and then I want to clear everything at once, other than clearing one by one. When you click on reset, then it asks you, do you want to reset the data? When you click on yes, then it formats your data. So basically guys, let's go to our database so that you can see that we have added new records here. Let's go to our database and see if it's there. You can see that the values are there. It is India, the gender is female, profession is police, city, that is Lodwa, country Ethiopia, and then submitted by, then it's gonna capture my my name here, and then because I'm using this computer which is renamed as Nehemiah, and then at the time that it was submitted, you can see it is here. So basically guys, this is the kind of automated data entry form that we are going to design, me and you, from scratch to its completion. But guys, before we start, I want to make this simple request. If it's your first time to get into this channel, please take a second, subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends. And so guys, without further ado, let me open the Excel. I'm using Excel 2016, so let me open it. And guys, let me go with this blank workbook. And guys, first of all, I want us to begin by first saving this document. So go to the files, then I go to save as, then I browse, then I choose the place where you want to save it. For me, I'm saving at the downloads. Then let me change the name and I give it something like automated basically automated data entry form, perhaps version 1.0. And guys, remember that you can give it any name, but what you must put into consideration is the file type. You ensure that the file type is Excel macro enabled workbook. Once you are done, then I click save, and then I guess we are good to go. And so now I want us to create now 2 worksheets here, one for home and then the other one for database. So now let me begin with the home. So let me change the name to be home, and then now guys, here I want us to remove these grid lines here. So go to the view, then ensure that you uncheck these grid lines so that you may not have those grid lines here. And then now guys, go to the insert, and then to this illustration group here at the top, just click on this drop down, then select this rounded rectangle, then draw your rounded rectangle here. I think that this one is perfect. And then what you do guys, click on the shape effect, then preset, and then I select any preset you like. And then what you do next, now right click here, then edit text, and then here let me give it any text like launch form. And what you do now, let me select all, then I'll go to the home tab, then align the text at the center and at the middle. Now increase the size I think this size is perfect. Then you can customize it and perhaps make it bold or whichever style you like. And then guys, I think now we are good with this launch form button. Now I want us to create now the the database, now our table. This other worksheet called database. Remember guys, you can give it any name, but for me I like giving it what database. Just to create now here a table, and the first thing that I want us to add here is perhaps the serial number, or let me just say number, and then the second one, let me perhaps say name, and then the third one, let me say gender, and then the fourth one, let me say perhaps something like a profession, and then what else I can say, city, and I can say also country, and then also I can say submitted by, let me begin with by the person, and then also submitted on, that is time. Now select the first column, then I click on shift, then I select the last column, then I double click where two columns intersect, and then guys, I want us perhaps to increase the size for name so that the names may have proper space for name. And then also for gender, I think this one is perfect. Profession is okay. City is perfect. Country and everything is now okay. And then guys, I want us to customize this header so that we may have perhaps something like a background color, foreground color, and everything. So let me change the background color and I give it black. Foreground color, let me give it white. Then I perhaps make it bold. And then now guys, perhaps let's select arrange perhaps to this place, and here to this font group, just select on this stuff, click on this drop down, and then I select all borders, and then now let's remove these other borders, and these are grid lines in this other end. So go to the view, and then ensure that you uncheck these grid lines, and then I guess now we are good to go. So guys, now the next thing that you need to have here is the developer tab. We use this developer tab to code. Now ensure that you have the developer tab. If you don't have, go to the files, and then now go to the option, and then now go to the customize ribbon, and then ensure that the developer tab is checked. If not checked, ensure that it is ticked, and then I click OK. Then you are going to see the developer tab here on your Excel here. Now guys, once you click on this developer tab, then now guys, I go to this Visual Basic here. Just I click on the Visual Basic. Now to this Visual Basic, go to the insert, click on this insert tab. Now to this insert tab, click on the user form. And guys, I want us to create the height and everything. Perhaps let me begin with the name. Now the name, let me say FRM form, and then now let me now change the height and everything. Now the height, perhaps let me change and I give it something like 325, and then now basically the width, perhaps guys, let me give it, remember it is in alphabetical order, so the width is something here at the end. So in case you are stuck to find it, just go with the alphabetical order, and then here let me give it something like 578, and then guys, let me go here at the top and change the caption. Remember the caption it is this stuff here. So now for the caption guys, let me say let me give it any name, like let me say automated data entry form version 1.0. You can give it any name guys. And then now guys, I want us to create now two frames here, one for to input the details, and then the other frame for a database. Now what you do, just click here, then you're going to see this toolbox here. Then let me just place it here so that it may not hide be in front of our stuffs here. Then guys, now let's create the frame. Now this is the icon for frame, just click on it, and then let's create now the first frame. I think this one is perfect. This one is perfect for us. And then let's also create another frame here at the bottom. For what? Let's create the frame for a database. I think this one is okay. So now today's our first frame. Let's change the name, and guys, basically guys, let's change the caption. Now the caption, let me give it what? Let me say enter. Let me say what? Let me say enter your details. Enter your details. And then now perhaps let me change the border color. And the border color, guys, let me just give it something like light blue. I think this one is okay. And then now what else in this other this other frame, and let me change and give it what the caption. Let me just say what frame caption. Let me say frame, let me say database, let me say database. And then now let me give it what? Let me give it which color? Let me just give it something like, let me just even give it this blue color. And then what else? Ensure that the border style is 1. It is in 1. Also in this other one, ensure that it is 1. You select 1, you like is in 1. And then now guys, I think now everything is now okay. It's now perfect with us. The thing now is to add the labels here. So just click on this capital A for label. Then let me create some label here. Also let me create another label, and then also another label here. And then let me change the caption. So the caption, let me change this first one and give it, let me first of all make it appear here. Then let me change the caption. And now the caption, let me say number. Basically let me say number. And then now the second one, let me change the caption and give it name. And then the third one, let me change the caption and give it what? The caption, let me give it gender. And then guys, I want us to add also the text boxes for the number, name, and everything. Now what I do, let me click on this small AB, just click on it, and then just paste there, and increase the size a bit, increase, I think this one is perfect, and then copy, then let me make it here, paste it there. And then for gender, I'm gonna use now the option button. Now the option button is this one. Just click on this one, then add one here. Also add another one for female, male and female. Now what I do now is to change what? Let me first of all reduce the size and align this one here. Then now in this gender, we are going to customize everything. First of all, let me change. Let me first of all copy everything here. Let me just copy, and then let me just paste it here to this other end. At the other end, let me change this label and give it perhaps profession. It was profession, so let me just change the caption and make it what? Profession. Let me say profession, city. Let me say change the caption and give it city. It was city. And then this other one, let me say this one was country, right? Let me change and give it a country. I think it's perfect. And then now guys, here I'm going, instead of this text box, I'm gonna use I'm gonna use a combo box. Now let me first of all delete this one, then add this combo box here. I want us to add this combo box here. And then for city, I think it's perfect to use even this text box. For city it's perfect. And then for country, I'm gonna remove these buttons here. And then also for country, let me just copy this one and then add this one to this other end here, where here it is. Now also I want us to create now the the command button here for save and for save and for save and reset. Now for the command button, it is here it is. Just click and add one here, also add another one here, add another one here for save and reset. I think this one is perfect. And then what I do, perhaps let me try to reset this this frame, so that it may not waste our space. I think it's perfect. Now guys, what I do now here, let me just change the caption, and here let me give it let me change the caption and give it a save. And basically let me change the name, and let me say this is cmd command button. Basically let me say cmd what basically save cmd save. And then now accelerator, I'm gonna give it s. And then what is background color, I'm gonna give it let me give it light blue. And then the caption, let me just give it a caption. Let me say save. And then what is now for reset, the name I'm gonna give it what, let me say cmd command button for reset. Basically reset. And then now the accelerator, it is R. And then the back color, I'm gonna give it red. Let me just give it red. And then what is the caption should be what? The caption should be reset. Should be reset. And I think this one is perfect. Now guys, I want us to add also another frame here at the bottom for the one for the list. Actually, I want us to add the list here at the bottom for database. Now for list, I think where it is, here it is. So let me add this list here. Let me add the list here. I think this position is okay. This one is okay. And then now guys, what I do now, let's label our the tag index. Now this one, let me change the tag index here at the bottom. Let me arrange it to, let me make it to be 1. Basically where is tag index, here it is. So let me just change it, I give it to 1. And basically guys, let me change the name. Basically the name here it is should be txt name. This is txt basically number. I think this one is txt number. And then this one is txt, and this one is txt name. And then this one is opt option for mail. And the caption, basically the caption gives let me just give it let me say mail. And then the second one, the caption, let me just say opt option for female, And then what is this one, let me change and I give it what, CMB combo box for what, for profession, profession, combo box for profession. And then this one is txt for city. Also this country is txt for what, txt for country. Then this one is perfect. Now guys, I want us to label to number our labels here. So this one is index what, this one is index basically where is it, where is tab index what, this is tab index 1. It's so perfect. Then this one is tab index what, and this one is tab index. Where is tab index? This one is tab index 2, should be 2. This one should be tab index, this will be tab index 3. This one should be tab index 4, and this one should be tab index 5. This one should be tab index 6, should be tab index 7, and this one should be tab index 8, and this one should be tab index 9, and then for this database here should be tab index perhaps let me say 10, and begin writing our VBA code. So just click on the insert, then insert this module. I want us to begin coding, and perhaps let me try to maximize this window here so that you may see what we are going to code here. And let's begin with the reset. Now for reset, guys, first of all write reset, and then reset, reset, basically beginning with sub. So let's see sub reset, basically reset, then open and close the rounded bracket, and then now in between these two start tag and the end tag, I want us to declare a variable here. And first of all, I want us to write to declare a variable. Now it is dim, and then I'm gonna use arrow, is long, arrow is long. And then now the next thing now is to assign that variable. It is arrow, I'm gonna assign it to basically let me say database. That database basically first of all you must declare the function for it. This counter, I'm gonna use the counter, and then database. Now database, so it is database database, and then exclamation mark, and then I say A to A. Then let me add a comment here for you to understand. Now this one is for identifying what? The last row. And so guys, now here I want us now to begin writing the codes. Now let me say with FR, I want us to use this FR, this one here. I want us to use this FRM form. That form, FRM, form. You ensure that you write exact words, otherwise it will have issues. And then I also create end. Let me say end with. Now this is the closing tag. So let's create some space there, and guys, I want us to begin writing our codes straight away. And first of all, let's begin now with the text. Now it is basically txt, and we'll begin with number. It was number, yeah, I think it's number. And then basically now the number, then now write value, value, and then here in this value I'm gonna say what? Let me assign it to a blank value here, blank value. And then what else? Now here let me say let me say txt name, and then txt name, and then let me assign it to let me say value, value, and then let me assign it to a blank what? Let me assign it to a blank value here, blank value. And then what is for what, let me also for option male and a female. So let me say dot option opt, it was opt male, opt male, sorry, male should be male, male, and then what is male dot value, value, basically dot value, and then also I'm gonna assign it to what, to false. So let me say false, and then and then also for female, perhaps for female again, what I say it is, let me just say dot opt. Now there, that was male, now this one is female. Opt dot value, value, and then I'm gonna give it what, let me say again false. Yes, now let's write the code for that profession, the combo box there. So it is it was dot cmb profession, cmd the profession. Now let me say dot clear, now dot clear, let me say clear, dot clear, and then now here let me also add those items like cmd, sorry, you begin with a dot, so I write dot cmd, basically cmb, this is combo box, cmb, and then cmb, and then dot what, dot add item, add item, and then I'm gonna say what, let me say what, let me say perhaps let me say doctor, doctor, and then guys, what I do, let me just copy everything here, let me just copy, and then I do what, duplicate, perhaps let me duplicate at least to 6 items. I think this one is perfect, and now here let me change it to maybe teacher, and let me say teacher, then this one let me say perhaps let me say here, let me say lecturer, lecturer, here let me say perhaps farmer, sorry, a farmer, hey, let me say farmer, and then here let me say what, let me say which profession, police, let me say police, and then what is here, let me say pilot, let me say pilot, let me say pilot, and then guys, now what I do next now is to add now for the city, now, and the country. So let me say what here, let me say dot txt, and then city, we begin with the city, and then dot value, basically value, and then I'm gonna give it to what, to a blank what, let me give it a blank value, and then also for the country, now it is txt country, country, and then I'm gonna say dot value, value, and then what is value, and then I'm gonna say what, I'm gonna say let me assign it to a blank again, a blank item here, and then here again should be just so let me just say assign to a blank value, and then guys, what is let me also create now that list for data, for that database there, the list. Now for list, I'm gonna say what, let me say it was lst in database, I think database, or I think it was this way, or what I do guys, let me try to recheck, let me just recheck the form here, let me just recheck the form. First of all, let me minimize this window here, and then here first of all let me just change check and ensure that it is oh guys, I forgot to change the name. It should be LST, you know, database. So let me just say LST database. So let me say database. So guys, once it's okay, then I return to your modules, and then perhaps let me try to zoom in, and then now guys, here let me now create now the a space here, and then let me write what now there that one for, you know, list now dot ls, you know, lsc database, and then guys I'm gonna say what dot, you know, column count. Now this one is column, and basically column count, basically column count, and then I'm gonna say what let me assign it to basically it was 9 items. I think we named our tag index to 9. I think, yeah, it was 9. And then also another one for here, it is dot lst database, and then the one for, you know, the column head. Now column head, let me say column head, column heads, I'm gonna give it you know, let me say true. Yeah. So it's perfect up to that point. Guys, so guys, the next thing now is to add, you know, the width for, you know, the columns, but remember it's not a must, but because I'm teaching, let me just, you know, show you, but it's not a must. So let me just say dot list lst database now dot you know, dot column sorry, column width, sorry, column width. So let me say dot hey, it should be dot column width, and then let me assign it to perhaps the first one. Let me always like guys to open and close, so that you may not forget to close. So the first one for, you know, items, let me give it something like that. It's very small. Then the other one 60. Remember there are 9 items, and then perhaps 75, and then also 40. Let me say 40, and then also 60. Let me give it 60, and then also 45. Let me say 45, and then 55. And then 70 for submitted by, and then I submitted on, let me say 70. So ensure that there are 9 items, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, so there are 9 items. If sorry, so let me say if I row is greater than 1, and then if I row is greater than 1, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say lst, basically beginning with a dot. Remember that lst database, and then let me say what dot row source, and then I'm gonna say what, let me assign it to let me say create these 2 quotation marks, and then here let me say database what, database then a colon, then basically a2 colon 2 I, basically I, yeah, I. Now what I do guys, the next thing now is to also let me say and what, and IRO else. Now let me now create now these are else now else do what else dot lst database dot row source, and then and then I'm gonna send it to, let me say database. So let me say First of all, ensure that you open and close so that you may not forget. And then let me say database, database, and then colon, let me say A2, let me say A2, basically A2 to what, to I2, basically, and let me say I2. Now let me now also create now the end statement. Now let me say end if. And so guys, now I think up to that point is perfect. So now I think let's try to debug and compile so that you may see if you have errors here. So let me click on the debug here, and then I do at debug, and then compile. Then guys, I can see that there's no error up to this point in time. I want us to go to the reset here. So let's just write another, but basically let me create a space there, and then here let me say what, let me say sub, basically sub, and then sub what, submit, submit, and then create these two, create some space there. Remember, we are recording for submit, and then now here let's declare the variable. Now the variable, let me say dim, sh as worksheet, worksheet, let me say worksheet, and then with sh, and then let me say end with, and then now guys, here let me create also some space there. Let me create some space, and then here let me say now begin now our coding. So guys, I want us to begin now with the sales. Now the first one is dot sales. I want us to begin now with the sales. Now dot sales, basically sales, and then what else? And then let me say first of all open and close the brackets, and then here let me say iRow, basically iRow, comma, and then one, iRow 1, and then let me assign it to what? Let me say assign it to iRow minus 1. That is iRow minus 1. We deduct 1, and then what else? Let me also create another one now. Dot sales, basically sales, and then dot basically now create these two brackets, and then let me say now this is iRow 2, basically iRow 2, basically iRow, comma, and then now this is the second one, and this is second one guys. I'm gonna assign it to, let me say frm form dot txt number, and then dot value, now value. So guys, what I do next now, let me just copy this line of code here. Let me just copy this line of code, and then I do what, let me just paste it below it. Let me just paste it there, and then here let me change to 3. Let me just change to 3, and then here let me say now this one let me change to basically something like a name. Let me say name. This one was basically, now this should be number. This one is okay, and then this one should be name. Now name, let me say name, and then what else? Now let's go to the fourth one. Let me just paste it there first of all, and then here let me change it to basically let me change it to 4. Let me say 4. And then what I do here, let me remove this line here, this part. Then let me say if double if, and then let me say create now these are two quotation, these are two rounded brackets, and then inside it is let me say frm, remember our form, frm form. Now that target, now that option button, now dot a txt. Basically it was what, it was opt, I think, opt what, female. It was female. Let me say female, female, and then dot value, basically value, value, and then now let me assign it to basically true, true. Let me say true. Let me say true, female. Now come out, create these two quotation marks, and then let me say true if it is female, female. Otherwise it's what, it's male. It's now it's male. Now let me create these two quotation marks, and then here let me just say male. Now male. Now what I do next now, guys, let's now go to another one for that one for profession. So let me just first of all paste these stuffs here, then here let me change it to this one should be 5. So let me say 5, and let me say 5, and then now what I do here, let me just change it to this one should be dot, basically dot what, cm. It was combo box here, profession, profession, I think it's perfect. Now profession, and then now what I do next now, guys, here is to create also another one for city and country. So let me first of all paste here, and then on this one should be txt. Now this one is city, and then the other one for country, let me paste there. Basically this one should be 6. 6. This one should be 7, and then here I should change to txt what, to a txt country, txt country, I think submitted by. So let me first of all copy this stuffs here, and then here change to application. So let me say application, sorry, should be application and dot user what, username, sorry, username, and then now the other one is for basically now this one should be 8, sorry, should be 8, I forgot to change, and then this one should be 9. First of all, let me clear everything here, and these are the end. Then here let me change it to 9. Remember it was 9. Let me say 9, and then here let me say what, let me say first of all open and close these square brackets, and then here let me say text, and then open. Now I want to add this function so that it will give the user the current type. Remember this is the submitted time, the time that the form was submitted. So it is I'm gonna add this function called basically open and close, and then here let me say now. Remember now function will bring you the current time. So this is the current time, and then here in this format, so it is basically day, month, and then year, and then hour, minutes, and then also seconds, and then we are good now. So guys, let's now try to debug. So that you may see if you have errors, codes. So I want us to initialize the launch form. So just write a sub, sorry, just write a sub, sorry, I should be just write a sub, and then it is show form, show form, then open and close. These are brackets, and then now here let me say now it was frn form, frm form, and then show. And so guys, what you do next now, just double click on this form, and then now guys, double click again on the save, and then guys, perhaps let me try to zoom in for you to see better. First of all, I want us to declare a variable. Now let's declare a variable here. So let me say dim, let me say first of all dim, and then it is message. Now msg message, and then value, let me say value, message value. Now we are declaring a variable, and then as v, basically vb message, vb message results, and then now guys, let's say let's now assign that variable. So let's now to assign that variable. So first of all, let me copy. First of all, let me just copy this variable name, and then write there that variable name. Then let me assign it to let me say this is message box. Now this is the message box that will appear, will pop up when you click on the save save button. Now let me say what first of all, open and close the parentheses, and then inside it guys, let me say do you first of all guys, ensure that you have this these are quotation marks, these two quotation marks, and then I say what do you want to save the data, add a question mark, and then also here create a comma, and then I say what say VB, that is yes, no, and then a plus. Now that confirmation, basically now that VB information, now information VB information, and VB information, information. I think this is the spelling for information. Remember, if you write a wrong spelling, it will not work. Now VB information, and then a comma, now plus that plus that confirmation there. So just write confirmation. Let me write confirmation. Let me write a confirmation. So I think it's now good. It's now good guys. So let me it's perfect guys. Now let me now create now the if statement there. So let me say first of all, create some space there. So let me say if that message value, that variable is equals to VB no, so VB no, and then exit sub, exit what, exit sub, then exit sub, and then also call what, submit, basically submit, otherwise call what, call reset. So guys, what we do now, let's copy these codes. Let me just copy these codes up to this point, and then now Control plus C, that is to copy. And then what I do guys, let me just go to these are forms once again. Then I'll go to the reset. Now to the reset, let me just paste it there. Let me just paste the codes there, and then now here I'm gonna remove what, I'm gonna remove this submit to be just reset. And then what I do here, let me now change the value here. Let me say, do you want to reset? Do you want to reset? Let me say reset. And then here it should be, do you want to save? Here it's okay. Now save. Now what I do guys, click on debug, and then I click on combine VBA, and then guys, if it does not give you the errors, then guys, we are good to go. Once everything is okay, just double click, and then here at the bottom here, just change and give it here, let me say user form. I want us to initialize the form, so let me say private sub, and then here let me say user form, basically user form. Let me try to zoom in. So let me say user form, user form what? User form underscore initialize. I want us to initialize the form with the form initialize, then open and close the these are bracket, they are already closed, and then here let me say what, let me say call what, call reset, and then guys, what we do, let me try to debug and then see if we have the errors. Now guys, it seems we don't have any errors. Let's realize that there's a code that we forgot to add there in our module. Now I want us to add there, otherwise it will not function. Just click on this module, and then here guys, here just where we had this these are submit, the submit codes, just here, just after this arrow here, let's set now. We forgot to set now this this variable there, to assign that variable, so it should be set. So just write a set she sh sorry, it should be set sh to sh to this. So let me say this workbook dot sheets, and then open and close the brackets, the curly brackets, and then inside it guys, we are going to use database. So just write database, and inside these are two quotation marks, so let me write database. So database, and then what you do now, click on this debug, then I click on the compile VBA project. Now once you are done, then go to your Microsoft Excel and to this launch button, then just right click, and then I click on the assign macro, then I click on this show form, then I click OK. Now and then guys, I just double click on this launch form, and then here you can write your number, like number 1, and then a name, you can give it any name like Nehemiah, gender, that is male, and then a profession you can select like lecturer, city you can say Nairobi, and then a country you can say Kenya. Now when you click on save guys, it's gonna give you this kind of a pop-up notification that do you want to save the data. When you click yes, then you can see that you have a new record here. So and then I guess when you go to your database, first of all let's close. Now when you go to your database, and then I guess you can see that we have this record here in this date in this table. So basically guys, this is how you can easily do it. This is how you can easily, or perhaps let's try to add another record, like let me say in this number 2, and then here let me say perhaps name, and give it something like and let me say Nehemiah, and then here I'm gonna give it gender, it's gonna be again a male, and then here profession, perhaps I choose police, and then a city, that is Kitale, let me say Kitale, country, that is Uganda. Then when you click on save, then it's gonna give you, and then when you reset, it's gonna clear everything here. First of all, let me save this one, and then perhaps let me create another one for reset, like let me write anything here wrong, like this one, then I click on the reset. Now you can see that it asks you, do you want to reset the data? When you click yes, then it's gonna clear everything. So, and basically guys, this is what I wanted to show you in this video, and I guess you've gained something. So please go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.